We are in Tasmania. It's not quite as cold as expected, but we're here for the first PRS match to be held off the mainland here in Tassie, the APRS Roaring 40 shootout, and you see behind me this sensational range. It looks absolutely fantastic. And we thought we'd spend some time this weekend asking shooters that have been doing this for a while the basic questions. So all the stuff that we often get asked on a regular basis, we thought we'd hit up a whole stack of shooters who really know what they're talking about. And this is how that went. Hopefully you can pick up something.
Because it's way easier, and I can't do lots of weird maths and convert MOA and second focal plane and things that change. It's just way too hard, mate. Keep it simple, keep it straightforward. Point one's point one.
Two reasons. One, so that if I do a holdover rather than dialing, it's going to be correct, and so that the target is always the correct size in mils.
Because it's really nice to be able to hit things with a follow-up shot, so you can actually measure how much you're missing by, make a correction, and hopefully make an impact. With a second focal plane, as you zoom in and out, the reticle changes. It means a different distance as you zoom in or out. It does different things, so that's why we use first focal plane.
So I use first focal plane because we shoot at multiple different distances on multiple different magnifications. So you still want your subtensions or your holds to be the same no matter what magnification you're on.
Why? Really because of the consistency between dialing. It's a lot of varying distances on a stage, so when you're dialing and changing distance, you don't have to worry about anything else or understand your holdovers at variable powers. You need that flexibility.
I run first focal plane because I like the fact that no matter what I put the reticle on at whatever magnification the scope is on, the mils will always be true mils. On second focal plane, they're not.
Because 1 mil is 1 mil, regardless of what magnification you're on. Yeah, that's by far the easiest way of doing it.
So my graduations are the same on every magnification, because everyone else does.
Basically, I'd go through, try and select the most stable position. So tyres are quite often wobbly. So if you can get where the centre of the tyre is, it's a lot more stable. So if you put your bag further in here, you can see that it will bounce around a lot. So try and get a flat spot with the most stability from the rubber on the tyres. Other than that, then you're going to work through the easiest position you can get your body in for like your height, whether you're tall or short. But yeah, generally you try and pick the part where the tyre will be the most stable.
Oh, top tip. Probably want to start with the balanced rifle. Get a little bit of weight into it, not too much weight. Probably like, I always try and sort of enough weight there that if I took that away, it wouldn't be too much. You sort of want the rifle to come straight back a little bit. Use your cheek to pull into it a bit, so that way you can maintain a sight picture.
Try and do as little as possible. Try and let the barricade and the bags support the equipment so you don't have to. The more you do, the worse it gets. That's pretty consistent. That's for me anyway. I'd get much worse.
When I tackle barricades, squaring up is probably one of the biggest things I harp on, because it helps you ID targets, manage recoil, and get those second shots off quicker. And it also, when you start shooting weak side, if you keep that mental thought process of squaring up, it'll help you with your weak side as well. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. Get there fast, settle down, square up, release.
So it's kind of like living in Australia and using the imperial system when you're trying to ask people how fast they're driving down the road, or when they're measuring like how big something is. You're talking a different language. Almost everybody in PRS uses mil radians, not MOA. So it's just a convenience thing. And it's also like the decimal system where it's based in units of 1 and 10 and things like that, as opposed to MOA, which is a bit funky as compared to it.
Because everybody uses it. So I started off using MOA, and if everybody is using MRAD, then you can confirm your that your data is correct. So, for instance, everybody will be talking about a wind call in mils, and if somebody goes, oh, I've got 6.5 mil for this target, and you've got 3, then you can go, hang on, maybe I've done something wrong here. So you'll go back, you'll double check. Whereas if you're shooting MOA and everyone is talking in mil, then you might as well be speaking Swahili.
Mils because metric. 1/10 of everything is 1/10 of everything, regardless of the distance. Again, we're not doing inches and yards. It's all centimeters and meters. It's just a lot easier to make an adjustment. The adjustments are more coarse, but it's less complicated. And most spotters are in mils as well.
Hanging around with all the good guys and ladies. The challenge, there's always a different challenge, always trying to improve. Every stage is different, every competition's different, every environment's different, and it's good travelling around the country.
Hanging out with mates, and I get really busy at work, and when I shoot PRS, I don't have the capacity to think about anything else except for shooting, so it takes your mind off work.
Mate, dudes, people, good excuse to go and travel, and it's fun and it's hard.
Yeah, similar people, similar gear. You get different ideas from different people, and it'll make you a better all-round shooter.
Not wasting money. Not spending lots of money. The people, the community is the most giving community in vending sport I've been involved in. I've been involved in a few. You'd rock up here and people just throw equipment at you to use, or if something breaks. Actually, there's some guys here today that their rifle's still in Sydney. And people are already going, well, I've got 20 rounds spare and I've got 15 rounds spare and stuff like that, just straight away trying to make sure those guys get to shoot the match because they've travelled down. That'd be the number one, and then the second one is probably just the repeatable, the accuracy side of you can't shoot a perfect match is kind of that thing. Like, you can always be better, and that's my mentality, I suppose. Ticks my boxes of things that I enjoy.
So I've got it in my notes. Why is Joel so good looking?
It's because he's the Italian stallion.
Get away from me.
Second focal plane is the best. Everyone in this sport shoots second focal plane, MOA.
Don't listen to this guy.